Every day I get it, cause I came up out the gutter. Won't never take a shortcut, cause I'm all about my butter. How about my cream, how about my smoothness? Watch how I lean, watch how I do this. Causing a scene, like making a move. You're giving me bread for the knowledge and mission. She's giving me classes, she fuck up tuition. I'm breaking the glass, I'm like Shaq in the building. I leave them in past cause they act like some children. I'm breaking the back, now she up in the feelings. I'm getting that cash like a motherfucking dealer. Got new offers, but I ain't giving my plate to no offer. I can lay you up on your bitch in the heart. A lot of niggas, I'm in the flow like water. Cool lay up, so don't get me started. Fucking retarded. Got a little bitch and she giving me all it. Do what I say like I train in robotics. Keep it in rap, she don't fuck with the gossip. One question, why the fuck you so godless? I'm ballin' like the Wallace. Got a bad bitch and she all in the back of my falling. I be rapping real hard cause I fuck with the sound. Everybody come get up with me now. You ain't never gotta go shoot for a crown. Up in the crowd because I'm down. Just tweet up, I'ma lay some shit down. Do the same to the kitty, baby, I can go rounds. Ain't lost in the city, but I never been found. Everything changed when I took a look around. I had to put my head up. I ain't really tryna come pull up on the spot. I be by myself, I'm really cool. But you got you to be like a bitch. I'ma kill you till she ride, goddamn. Got the green like I'm saying. Fiends all around, ain't sticking to the plan. But I ain't tripping, got life in my hands. Hope you ain't slipping, told your wife on the man. Got 5 hoes in an all-white van. Got 9 flows and they all like trans. I can switch it up like I'm chilling over really to go beat to the jungle. I'ma kill it, go really keep my weed by the bundle when I'm rolling to the city. I ain't playing like the kitty, I'ma kill it till I'm 50. And my skin be vanilla, but I'm talking than a late night of Philly, than a late night of Philly, goddamn.
Y'all know shit about this. Hey, y'all know shit about. Wait till this shit drop. Wait till this shit drop.
Come on, baby, come on. All these hoes trying to tell me that they know my name. Trying to play a young nigga, I might go insane. I be breaking down walls, I don't fuck with them brains. Switching the link game like a goddamn train. These hoes still picking calls death with the blame. Fuck stress and the pain, been blessed with my name. Sharp in the leg, I be testing brain. I trip about a bitch, got checks, I can get it. Baby, don't you know from the left where I came? Came to leave a mark, now it's looking like a stain. Sparking in the dark, all you see is a flame. But it's written on my heart, but just laughing insane. It's part of the game. Speaking in code, man, sweaty so vague. Get out the way, get out the way. I said, get out the way. Get out the way, I said, get out the way.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I know we didn't let the song play all the way out, but shit, low key, I had already listened to that song before the live stream even started. Low key, just to get into the right headspace, get into the right type of energies and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, welcome back to the communication station with your boy Schwetzy as your host. You know what I'm saying? So, as always, we've got a topic to talk about. But before we do that, I'm going to mention something at the front of this video instead of mentioning it at the end of this video this time. My door is still open for collaborations. Obviously, I have my own process of deciding who I want to collaborate with or not. But if y'all have beats, y'all have tracks with open space on it, anything like that, you know what I'm saying? Send it on through to my email. I got some shit for you guys in the bottom. Also, tarot card readings, consultations, chart readings, whatever it is that you may need, hit me up. I'm here for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And also, if you want to donate, obviously that's not required, but if you do, you know what I'm saying? The shit for that is down below as well in the description. So let's get into our topic. Right into this shit. Let's just jump right into this shit. You know what I'm saying? So the basis of our topic today is embodiment. And this can play out in a multitude of ways. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to break some shit down for you guys. That way you guys can have a true understanding. And that way you guys aren't out here being fake and doing some like fake it to make it, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, not being very serious type of energies. So let's go ahead and give you guys a real world example before we get into this shit. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we was younger, right? And y'all remember when depression and anxiety became like a prevalent thing mixed in with the social media aspect of when we was coming up, like not when we was real young, because when we was real young, like it wasn't no internet, it wasn't really hardly no phones aside from a flip phone and shit like that. And you had to download your own fucking ringtones and download your wallpapers off of the internet and shit like that. So there wasn't really like social media in the way that it is now. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me take this hoodie off real quick, because I shut that door and now there's like automatically no airflow in this bitch, and I'm immediately burning up. So as soon as I start getting my blood flowing and getting into the right type of energies and shit like that, automatically my body start overheating and being weird. Okay, so all right, let's get into this shit. All right, so like I said, remember when we was younger and depression and anxiety started becoming very relevant? It almost became like a trend. And I know y'all remember this shit from whenever y'all was younger and stuff like that. Whenever everyone started gravitating towards the concept of anxiety and depression and shit like that. And now y'all remember we've always been in a situation where people like to do shit for attention, because attention is another form of currency. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing as money. It just juice you up in a different type of way. Instead of you being like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, I got this money now, I can go take care of these bills, I can go take care of my family, I can go buy this boat or whatever the fuck you may want. You know what I'm saying? It juice you up in a different type of way. It juice you up in your ego. It juice you up mentally and emotionally and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So we've always been in a situation where people like to do shit for attention. But in the concept of what I'm talking about, as far as the anxiety and depression aspect, just look back and remember those times when there was people who actually was dealing with anxiety and depression to the fullest extent, and to the point of embodying that energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for certain individuals, having anxiety and depression became like a personality trait, or some shit like that, something that you can self-identify with now. And now that's like your whole persona. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember like the emo girls and the bitches who be slitting their wrists and shit like that and all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. You know what I mean? I'm just speaking on how this shit be playing out. So you know what I mean? Them emo girls, the people who were struggling with depression and shit like that real heavy, and people knew about it. You know what I'm saying? Even if these individuals weren't like speaking about it and shit like that, like people would know about it and shit. You know what I'm saying? So whenever that started to develop, then you would have subsidiary versions of it, aka individuals who will start to interact with this anxiety and depression aspect just for the sake of getting the attention off of it, even if it's negative attention. Like, it don't matter, just the fact of you getting attention at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people are lost in that concept. So we would have a lot of people, at least in my area and based on my own experiences. Y'all might not even relate to this shit at all. You know what I'm saying? But there would be individuals who would like come into the classroom in school, or like come around certain individuals and start being like, oh, I've got anxiety, or I've got depression and shit like that. But the people who were actually embodying those energies, as far as the concept of anxiety and depression, and they were embodying that to the fullest degree, they will always be able to recognize and look at an individual who is playing out the anxiety and depression character just for the sake of getting the attention at the moment. And it would always be a situation where they're like, something's off here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've even seen situations where it'd be a person who actually struggled with anxiety and depression to the fullest degree, and then there'd be a person who really don't even experience that for real, and it's just like trying to act out that characteristic and trait at the moment for the sake of getting a response from individuals. And I've seen situations where a person who actually do deal with that shit to the fullest degree will sit here and be like, man, you don't have no fucking anxiety or depression. You know what I'm saying? Like you're faking and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just saying that because the shit now it's like damn near became popular and shit like that. So that's just a tidbit of information to take into consideration when we get into the full breakdown of what we're here to talk about tonight. And the reason why I utilize the titling system in the way that I did, the better you are at embodiment, the realer you are. You get what I'm saying? And that's not necessarily saying like how a lot of people be taking the aspect of being real or some shit, being a real man or being a real nigga, gangster or some shit. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. Just being genuine, being a real being in the essence of that. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say whenever you are better at embodiment, you become a realer individual, because this is the thing. Whatever it is that you're into, regardless of whatever example we want to utilize, it can be the anxiety, it can be the depression, it could be the happiness factor, it could be the peace factor, it could be whatever it may be, however it may play out. You know what I'm saying? It could be a multitude of things, but even if you're a person who doesn't interact with that directly, you're always going to get the sense like something is off with this individual when a person come around you and they're not able to embody that energy that they're into to the fullest degree. You know what I'm saying? You always get the sense like, man, something's off with this motherfucker. Like, you might not be able to pinpoint it, but you always going to be in a situation where you like, so something ain't right here. There's something off with this individual. And the reason for that is because they're not able to actually play out the realness of whatever that characteristic and trait is. So even if it come down to the point of helping you, giving you support in some type of way, or being there for you in some type of way, and then it start to play out in relationship type of aspects too. You have a friendship with a certain person, you have a relationship as far as family, you got a romantic relationship with somebody. You get what I'm saying? So a person, just for the sake of you being their family member or being their friend or being their romantic partner at the moment, they will be in a position where they are going to play out certain characteristics and traits, and you can tell when somebody really means that and is being genuine with it and is truly embodying that, like, I'm here, I'm gonna ride for you, I will help you with whatever the fuck you need, I will support you in any way that I can type shit. You can tell when a person really mean that and they're just doing that purely because that's what they want to do at the moment. You get what I'm saying? And then you'll have these other situations where individuals will only do these things just for the simple fact of that I call you my family member, or the simple fact of I call you my friend, or I call you my romantic partner at the moment. You get what I'm saying? Name and title that we've slapped up on this shit. You get what I mean? So let's get into this a little further. A lot of people down here are operating off of societal standards. You get what I'm saying? And this is the thing too. Don't get lost in the aspect of me saying you can tell when somebody means it. It's more so about them just doing it purely because they want to. A person might not necessarily have the experience or the wisdom necessary to deal with whatever they're dealing with at the moment to the fullest degree. So you can still be a very real and genuine individual, meanwhile not having the know-how to go about it in the correct type of manner. You know what I'm saying? And this is where the lines get blurred a little bit, and where people will start to have like bridge burning moments and shit like that, just for the simple fact that it's like, okay, I know how to play out this energy, I know how to play out this characteristic and trait in a much more sufficient way than this person that I'm interacting with at the moment. So when this person comes to me and our scales don't meet, they're not at equivalency, we're not at the same level with that one specific aspect. You get what I'm saying? They're a little bit more down here. They kind of got to catch up a little bit, whatever it may be, giving you support, helping you. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. When it comes to that uneven scale type of shit, a lot of people who are up here will have some type of ego about it or some shit, and they will be ready to burn bridges and cut this individual off down here just for the simple fact of they don't have the know-how to go about playing out that energy in a more sufficient way, but they would mean that with their whole heart. You know what I'm saying? Like they would be very genuine with that shit. Like they really are trying their best. You know what I mean? But so you know, we're all on different percentage levels, and we're all on different ladder scales. And let's make this clear as well. It's not necessarily bad for you to separate from an individual when y'all scales don't meet right here. You get what I'm saying? But just have a little bit of practical application with it. You get what I'm saying? Don't be ready. Like this person, you never know what type of growth this person could go through. They could mean that with their whole heart. They just don't know what they're doing at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So when they do catch up and they're on a growth path as well, and when they do meet you here, that would be the realest person to have in your corner. You know what I'm saying? But you wasn't willing to let them, you know what I'm saying, be patient with them and watch their growth and shit like that, and allow them to catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're growing, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though we're both still growing, eventually this person can still catch up, and we could be at equivalency again. Like I said, that could be the most genuine person to have in your corner. A lot of times people just don't know what they're doing, and they can't embody energies to the fullest. But that's not a person that's necessarily doing anything wrong. They just haven't applied the information or the wisdom and knowledge that they've developed, or they just haven't went through enough experiences to even have a perspective in their mind or have a bright idea to be able to be like, okay, that now this is a much better way to play this out. Now, this is a much better approach. This is a much better angle to attack this situation from. So now I can really help this individual. Now I can really be supporting this individual and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So don't necessarily like disregard these individuals just off the back just because they are maybe lacking in experiments in some type of way a little bit. We don't necessarily need to just be deleting everybody who ain't caught up to us quite yet. But at the same time, though, don't be a fucking fool. Don't be sitting here dragging and slowing your growth and shit like that down to allow this person to catch up with you and shit. Keep doing what you're doing. Allow this person to keep doing what they're doing. And if y'all have a position where the shit meet, then good for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, continue pushing. You know what I mean? But this is the thing. This is the thing about it. Like I said, a lot of people just be doing shit for attention or because of whatever name and title that they're dealing with at the moment, as far as what type of relationship you have with them and shit like that. So a person 9 times out of 10 will sit here and attempt to do some shit and attempt to embody some type of energy or some type of characteristic and trait, but it's always a situation where it's going to be like 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy. It's always going to be a situation where it's like they're not really serious about that. The only reason they're doing that is because I'm their son at the moment, or I'm their brother at the moment, or I'm their boyfriend at the moment, or I'm their friend at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So that's when you can tell that a person is being fake with it and trying to like fake it to make it, or just because they see your potential and they know where you're headed and they're quote unquote supporting you at the moment for the sake of whenever you blow, I know I'm gonna get 100,000 in my bank account or some shit. So that's what we need to take into consideration. And not get lost in just willy-nilly taking all type of support or accepting all type of help, or being in a situation where we're letting individuals get in with us and getting close with us just because they're showing us something that we might want to see at the moment. You get what I'm saying? They're showing us some type of validation, they're showing us some type of support, they're helping us out with certain shit and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to rope back to this fake ass type of snaky manipulative type of energy. You know what I'm saying? And like I told y'all, though, it's not always like that. Sometimes it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a little bit different. But for majority speaking, you know what I'm saying? Most of the world just be doing shit for the sake of what society wants them to do, or what the name and title wants them to do, or the pressure that they get based upon, you know what I'm saying? It's all type of shit. You know what I mean? And that'll be the moment. That's what's so tricky about this shit. They're not doing it just because they want to. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it because people are telling them to, or it's a subconscious pressure that has just been developed from how the mentalities have been shaped and constructed down here based upon the Masons and shit. So don't let a motherfucker get one over on you like that, because you're gonna grow to realize the more that you deal with shit like this, and the more that you involve yourself with ain't shit ass individuals like this who cannot embody the energies to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with these individuals, you're always gonna come to a conclusion like, okay, this is only for the time being right now. The moment that somebody else come along and tell this individual like, oh, Schwetzel's a bum or some shit, or you shouldn't be fucking with him or something like this, the moment that they now people are putting word in their ear like that, that's the moment when everything else is cut off. All that validation you was getting, all that support you was getting, all this and that, all that's cut off. The moment that somebody else come along and say some shit about you, or give some type of proof, or some type of you know what I'm saying, some type of check stub or some shit to be like, oh yeah, this motherfucker is just broke at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, that's the moment all that shit would go away. Or if like, for example, you live a bit of a different type of lifestyle, right? Say for example, you just a motherfucker who break the law and shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? And now let's say you've been moving real sneaky with that. So nobody really knows that you be breaking the law and shit like that. Nobody knows that you really be committing crimes. Nobody really know about this, right? You've been keeping it to yourself. You've been really ghostly and secretive about it, right? But still, you still been breaking the law. But you're able to embody another type of characteristic and trait that is shown as far as your image and status, right? So now as time goes on, the individuals that you're interacting with that character and that image and status, right, you might be getting all the validation in the world off of that. You might be getting all the support in the world off of that, right? But the moment that people start to find out, like, hey, this motherfucker low key be breaking the law behind closed doors and shit like that. Like low key, this motherfucker be robbing everybody low key behind closed doors and shit like that, and behind the scenes. Don't nobody know about this, and they start telling people. Now all of a sudden, all that's the moment all that shit disappeared. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna look at you like you ain't doing something right because you ain't correlating with society and shit like that. And this is just an example, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that I'm fucking out here breaking the law and doing all type of crimes all the time, or like that ain't nothing I've experienced. I'm just using that as an example because that's really how shit be playing out. Even down to the smallest shit. You know what I'm saying? People will stop supporting you just for the sake of you're not correlating with society correctly. You're not doing shit the right way as far as how the world and the government told us that things need to be done. So it could play out in the smallest percentage level, right? You getting all this support in the world. You even might down to the point where somebody fucking buy a car for you or some shit, right? But then a month down the line or some shit like that, this person find out. Okay, that's fine. I'll be ready. I'll be right here in a minute. Take this one.
Okay.
But anyways, the moment, okay, a month or two down the line after this individual will buy you this car or something. What the fuck is blocking me? Oh, my own goddamn sandals was blocking me. I want that blue hue in here. I don't want that fucking fluorescent light or whatever the fuck that was. I apologize though, y'all. Let me get back in the sentiment. Okay, so now you have an individual who is supporting you due to the you being able to embody a certain character or a certain characteristic and trait, and you've developed some type of image and status off of it, right? So now you're getting support from certain individuals off of this, right? So all the way down to the point where somebody might buy you a car, even if this is a family member, your mom buy you a new car, your grandmama buy you a new car, or something like this. You know what I'm saying? Buy you a brand new car, right? And they're supporting you based off of this, you being able to embody this characteristic or this character very well. You know what I'm saying? And you've developed your image and status off of it. So that's where you're getting your support from. And that's where you get the car from, right? But the moment that you hop over here in this lane, time goes on a month later, and grandma or mama or whoever bought you the car find out like, damn, this individual still hasn't gotten this car registered at the DMV. Like, damn, this individual don't even have a license and they're still driving this car every day. You know what I'm saying? Or damn, like this person, they've had all the time in the world, but they still ain't put insurance on the car and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now you doing shit the wrong way. You're going against the grain. You're not doing shit how society do it. Like, yeah, you need to go and get your license. You need to go. And that's the moment that car will now be taken away and get parked somewhere. And now you told, even though that's your car, and even though I bought that for you, now you're not allowed to drive it until you get your license, registration, insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this shit play out in a multitude of ways. I'm tripping. How am I getting light in here now? I have the door all the way closed. I know y'all just seen it like get brighter up in my face region for some reason. I don't know where I'm receiving light from. But anyways, this shit play out in a multitude of ways. It's just up to us to determine, you know what I'm saying, who is for us and who ain't for us, and who is real and who is fake based upon their ability to embody whatever energy, character, characteristic, and trait that they're into at the moment. Otherwise, it's always going to be us realizing how fake it is. And it's always going to give disingenuine vibes. That's why I titled it like this and use the word the more real you are. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always going to give disingenuous vibes. Like it's always going to be a situation where it's like, man, you don't even want to do this. Like you're not even able to embody this energy to the fullest extent. So why are you even playing this out at the moment? That's another thing to take into consideration. Why would a person be doing this right now? You know, that's what you need to be asking yourself when you realize like an individual is being fake and phony with you, or they're showing characters and characteristics and traits that they're not able to embody to the highest degree. You know what I'm saying? Due to lack of understanding, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Always taking into consideration why is a person showing this to me right now? You know what I'm saying? Why is a person giving me this energy right now, even if they don't know how to embody it fully? You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing. I know that majority of the world and a lot of humans are foolish and shit like that. I very much so understand that. But at the end of the day, everybody knows what they're doing low key, even if it's buried very deep. Everyone knows what the fuck they're doing low key. You know what I'm saying? So we need to take that into consideration as well. Everyone knows what the fuck they're doing. A lot of people would just play like they don't. You know what I mean? So this is the thing that I've come to realize. A person knows this shit about themselves. So majority of the world is not going to embody certain characters, certain energies, certain characteristics and traits that they don't understand fully. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not an aspect of you at all. You know what I'm saying? So majority of the world is not going to be in a position where they're embodying some type of energy if they don't fully understand it. So 99% of the world, if you do get these fake and phony type of vibes that I'm speaking about, a lot of time it's a agenda behind it. That's what I've come to realize. You know what I'm saying? Based upon my perspective and shit like that. Whether it be for the sake of being extremely agreeable right now, whether it be for the sake of being extremely relatable right now, whatever it may be, majority of the world is not going to be acting out on this shit unless they actually understand it to the fullest extent. So the moment that a person is being extremely agreeable, extremely relatable with you, whatever it may be, and whatever multitude of ways that this shit might play out, the moment that they're doing that to you, now you need to be checking. You need to be checking on that shit very sternly. You know what I'm saying? Because 99.9% of the time, it's going to have an agenda behind it. Either they're trying to get something out of you, they're expecting you to start exhibiting certain characteristics and traits to show them that you can correlate with the world and society better, or it's just them correlating with society and shit like that. This should play out in a lot of ways. I'm just giving y'all the perspective based upon my own experiences of dealing with shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So like I said though, I've come to realize the world ain't gonna do this shit unless they know how to actually do it for the most part. Anything else, for the most part, you can chalk it up. It's got an agenda behind it. There's some type of manipulation behind it. Whether they're trying to get material items out of you, or whether they're just trying to get a certain type of expression out of you, whatever it may be. Most of it is an agenda. Most of it is an agenda. So just remember that. Don't be lost in that concept. Please don't be lost in that concept. That's why I say the more that you're able to embody whatever it is that you're into, or whatever you're exhibiting as a characteristic and trait at the moment, the more real that you can be, because nobody's going to be able to get those type of fake and phony vibes off of you, because you have dealt with this enough to know what it's all about. You know the ins and outs of it. You know how to approach it in the most efficient way. You know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So even if a person did come at you and say like you a fake being or some dumbass shit like that, or you don't know what you're doing, or some shit like that necessarily, it'll just be like water rolling off a duck's back. It would never even get to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that whatever it is that you're into, you actually mean, and you're actually serious about it. Because the moment that it start making you feel some type of way or some shit like that, or you know what I mean, the moment you start feeling some type of way about it and being all discouraged and shit when somebody say something to you, that's the moment to let you know like you probably ain't on shit. You know what I mean? And this is the thing too about this shit. You know what I mean? This is the thing about it too that I wanted to speak about. The real spiritually inclined people and the people who are able to embody energies like this, y'all are going to attract a lot of children. You get what I'm saying? And take that how you may. It can play out as you attracting physical children. It can play out as you attracting physical even adults in your life, and you got to be some type of leader to them or some shit like that. Or you know what I'm saying, mental children, emotional children, spiritual children, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? The more that you're able to embody these energies to the fullest, you're going to attract shit that is more childlike, more childish. You know what I'm saying? And not childish in the aspect of being like immature or some shit like that. Just more so like full of wonderment and shit like that. So that's why you would see a lot of individuals who are actually able to embody certain energies to the fullest, or certain terms and definitions, characters, characteristics, and traits to the fullest. These people get along with children extremely well. You know what I'm saying? And a person who like just do this. If you know that you're an individual who is able to embody energies to the fullest, you have a very good understanding of the energies, the characters, and the characteristics and traits that you have developed all the way to the point that it starts to manifest and become an expression and become a characteristic and trait outwardly, something that can be shown and seen. The more that you know that you're able to do this test. Take yourself and then take an individual who you know for a fact does not know how to embody energies to the fullest and always be on fake and phonery type of bullshit. Take the both of y'all and go around a small child. Go around a toddler or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll be afraid of the individual who don't know what they're doing and don't know how to embody these energies. They'll want to stay away from them. They probably won't even look at them or make eye contact. Now, you knowing how to embody energies to the fullest aspect, y'all both in the same room, yet you're the only one who getting stared at by the kid the whole time. Yet you the only one, you don't even know this kid from a can of paint, but this kid want to be playing on you all the time and shit, and climbing all over you like a jungle gym, and come up and hug your leg and shit like this. You know what I'm saying? My real spiritual people will know this. The people who know how to embody energies to the fullest aspect, y'all would be the best fathers. You know what I'm saying? I see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see this shit. The motherfuckers who really know what they're doing and know how to embody their energies to the fullest, y'all are the best fathers. I see y'all all the time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. Give y'all's flowers and shit like that. My real spiritually inclined individuals know what I'm talking about. Y'all are always the best parents. Y'all are always the best fathers. You know what I'm saying? And even when it come down to other aspects, like what I was talking about, when it come down to not necessarily physical children and younger people like that, you know what I'm saying? Adults too. You the best leader in the community. You the best. You know what I'm saying? You the best person who take care of everybody's mentality and emotional state of being and shit like that. You the hardest one. Because that's the thing, that childlike aspect that's within everybody is going to pick up on this. So people are by default going to be attracted to you, especially people who are childish spiritually and shit like that. They're going to be attracted to you just so that they can learn from you. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, some of y'all might be viewing this shit and being like, oh God, I got 100 million messages in my inbox. Oh God, I got 100 million people trying to come see me every day. Oh God, I got, even if it is children. Oh God, fucking every goddamn girlfriend I've ever had, their kids still want to see me every day. Their kid is still asking about me and shit like that. That's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? They're just coming to learn from you, even if it's animals too. Like y'all be knowing this shit. Animals will be attracted to you too. Even if you a person like me who really don't fuck with animals like that. Like animals are high key pretty annoying to me for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they be trying to get real close and shit. I don't even fuck with animals like that for real. But y'all will notice animals love you. You know what I'm saying? Animals will love you. And anytime you go to making content, writing in your notebook, just any type of real shit that you be on a personal level and shit like that, all of a sudden, here go a fucking cat out from out of nowhere coming to be close to you. Here go this dog trying to root its nose into your notebook and like flip the page or some shit and see what you writing about and all this different type of shit. Like my real people know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's the thing about it. They just be trying to come and learn from you is all. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. They just trying to come and learn from you and shit like that. So don't necessarily be cutting off the people's kids and shit like that just because you might not fuck with kids at the moment or something, or you might not fuck with animals at the moment or some shit. Now here you go, ready to fucking call the K9 unit on some or call animal control on somebody's dog just because they in your yard now because they know you're inside doing a ritual and spell or you doing a chart reading or you're making some content at the moment or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like don't be ready to just call fucking animal control on everybody's dogs and shit like that. You are the example down here. That's what it all tied back to. You become the example down here of what people need to see and how people are actually supposed to move and what life is really about. So and this is the thing too. The adult that's in people, and I'm not talking about spiritual adults. I'm talking about just the adult aspect as far as, oh, you're 18 now, you a grown man in the worldly aspect. You know what I'm saying? The adult in people is always going to have them in a perspective where they're going to try to refute what you're saying, or they're going to try to disregard you, or they're going to try to downplay whatever it is that you have going on. But pay attention. These be the same people who show up to every video. These be the same people who hit you up when they're down. These be the same people, even if they're coming outside their mouth to like joke around about you, low key, don't fuck with you or whatever. They're always the people who want to be around you every day. You know what I'm saying? And still just be trying to keep tabs on you and shit like that. So don't get lost in the response that you get. Be able to have the sight enough and the perception enough to be able to see what a person actually has going on behind closed doors, because a person the childlike aspect within the individual will be needing you. You get what I'm saying? That like they will be needing you. That's why when you're able to embody these energies to the fullest, now you can see when people are operating on what percentage levels they're operating on. You get what I'm saying? So you will be able to tell what a person is showing you at the moment, but also what's back and supporting that at the moment. You get what I'm saying? So they're playing out this at a higher percentage level so that this is what you can see at the moment. You get what I'm saying? But back here, low key on a smaller percentage level, they still have this small percentage level of supporting you, needing you to be around them, looking to you as an example and shit like that. But even if they're outwardly looking at you like, oh man, you ain't shit. Like, oh damn, you damn near probably on drugs, motherfucker. Like, yeah, like that shit don't matter. Don't get lost into what you just see, because a lot of times people actually be needing you low key and be crying out for your help low key. Like my real people are gonna know this shit. You know what I'm saying? My real people are gonna know this shit. Like you can tell when somebody is hating on you externally, but internally they need you. They crying out to help from you. They praying to you. So yeah, that's essentially it. The better that you can embody the energies that you are into and the energies that are you and are for you and shit like that, the more real you become, the more of an example that you become down here, and something that need to be paid attention to now. Even if people want to act like they're not paying attention to you, even if people want to act like they're not supporting you, You get what I'm saying? These people are supporting you low key. They might not even know it at the moment. So just keep being an example. Keep walking on your path and stay in the space of all possibilities. That way, maybe sometime down the line, and don't even hold on to that hope of the maybe sometime down the line, this person will grow a little bit and be able to finally be like, oh yeah, I don't even hate this individual. Low key, I needed them the whole time. Low key, they was the only thing that was helping me get through. Low key, they were showing me everything that I needed to know. And low key, I'm developing my shit off of what I seen from them. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty much it for y'all. Tonight I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I gotta run my brother some dinner and shit like that. So I'm gonna hop off here. I enjoyed the breakdown as always. Y'all take it easy. We out this bitch. Peace.